Yo, and welcome to another live version of Palace News. And what a crazy day it's been today. The Olise madness is in full effect. So we got that to talk about. A lot of different layers to this story. Interested to see how things unfold with that. Jake O'Brien has officially been unveiled. We'll talk about that. Could there be some winger reinforcements all already in talks for Palace to come in? And also, just chatting a little bit more with you guys, getting your feedback in the chat. But we'll be with you in 1 second for another version of Palace News. Back on what is a very crazy, emotional roller coaster of a day. I'm your host T, and I got my man AJ with me. AJ, just tell them exactly what you just told me when you walked in the house, man.
My poor partner had to put up with me. Like, I looked at my phone, I looked at X, and I was just like, "What the hell is going on? Like, what is going on? Like, I don't understand. Like, what's happening? What
It's
is going
madness,
on?"
pure madness, man. Gosh, like
What
it's
what a day,
it's
mate? What a day.
the thing that really gets me, man, is beckoning back to what we talked about before. Like, well, this is probably in the season last year. People are like, oh, what happens when we lose Zaha and Elise in the same window? It'll never happen. Blah blah blah. And it's like, here we are. Here
This
we
is this is
are.
my Crystal Palace 9/11. It's happened.
Ooh, okay. There you go.
It's up there. It's up
Yeah,
there,
that's
man.
what I
Like,
say.
controversial,
hey, hey,
controversial, but you know what?
let's give them what it feels like.
This is it's painful, man. It's
Yeah.
painful stuff.
So for those of you that may be a little bit in the dark, or like AJ didn't know what was going on until he got in the house a little while ago, Chelsea is believed to have activated the release clause of Michael Olise, and they expect to complete the signing in due course. If the deal is finalized, it would guarantee Crystal Palace right around $35 million initially. However, um, Reading, the League One team that we actually purchased Elise from, do have a 10% sell-on clause. Therefore, we would then reap about 31.5 million pounds, right around there. Looking at what that comes out to, but we this story has been reported by some pretty reliable sources in David Ornstein as well as Fabrizio Romano. It looks like there is some things going on. Like I said in the introduction, there are some layers to this now that are just coming out. So apparently, Palace are considering filing a formal complaint against Chelsea for tapping up in the process with uh, with Michael Olise. So me being from the U.S., I wasn't too familiar with the term tapping up, AJ, but I'm gonna let you explain to the viewers and to the chat that might not
So
know.
essentially, what tapping up is if you talk to a player unauthorized without the club you are buying from,
Hmm.
without their permission, then essentially you can be accused of tapping up, which is quite convenient coming from a club like Chelsea because they've been renowned for, excuse me, taking liberties beforehand. So
Hmm. Hmm.
you know. I mean, the worst they'll get is a fine and maybe a little transfer window ban, but based
Right.
on, I mean, on top of all the other news this afternoon, man, does it matter at this point? Like,
For us, it truly doesn't, because even if they get found guilty of the tapping up, I mean, there's nothing that really is going to happen that will benefit us. I don't think anyway. It's not like we'll probably get any type of additional fee or anything like that. I just, it sounds like we just get the role of whistleblower, and that's about it. Like there's not a lot that comes with us filing this complaint as far as us getting. It's not like we're going to keep Olise or get additional funds or anything. It's just it is what it is. So that news is out there. We'll see what happens with that. But I mean, we're finally at this point, AJ, where it looks like Olise is on the move now, with the release clause being triggered and everything. And it seems like there was a lot of confusion, a lot of back and forth from multiple sources. I mean, Darren Ambrose being one of them came out and said that, oh, this release clause doesn't even exist. And then it's like, no, the release clause does exist. And it's like, yes, it exists, but it can only be in effect for a Champions League team. And then all of a sudden it's like, no, that's not true. Chelsea's triggering it. So where do you stand at this point with everything?
I mean, at the end of the day, I'm trying to dissect this without we're trying to keep it professional as possible. But
Exactly. How many times can I swear on YouTube before we get canceled?
yeah, I was thinking about it. All right, cool, calm, right. First things first. There's clearly no reporter that knows sweet FA about Crystal Palace. Not one. Because we've got all these in the knows and all these tier one Palace journalists, and one bag of them saying one thing, another bag of them saying another. Nobody seems that going on. Now, I know Darren Ambrose isn't going to be too happy about it because, it's made him look quite stupid, to be brutally honest.
I don't
It's
think
made him look
anybody's
very,
gonna
very stupid.
believe much what he says from this point.
It makes him look very stupid, to be fair. The club looks stupid as a result of it. I mean, we made a profit on him, so we have to be fair. We have to be reasonable.
Yeah, what 2027? Well, probably a little bit less.
Profit's profit at the end of the day. I mean, I think the problem is when you're looking at teams up and down the Premier League and the profits they're making on their squad players in comparison to what we're making, we're not being smart. We're not boxing clever here. And the problem is, you've got to deal with the stress of losing Olise. You've got to deal with the stress of trying to replace Olise. You've got to deal with the stress that we didn't get what most people would agree would be a reasonable fee for him. Plus, you've got to consider for the fee that some of these players are going for this summer from the more mid-table clubs.
Yeah,
I can seriously understand why people feel distressed and people feel robbed. However, that being said, the club needs to move on. Whether it moves on or not, that's a different conversation. I know there's a man sitting in that camera over there. He knows. He's seen stuff. He's seen stuff probably more stressful than me. But it's been a tough start to the week, man. It's heartbreaking, man. But clearly, none of these journalists seem to be in the know. None of them.
Yeah. Speaking of the man, Patrick, what's going on, brother?
I'm good. How are you?
I mean, I'm hanging in there, man. Another
day. Better
So,
Tuesdays, mate. That better Tuesdays.
No, so here's my point is that I don't know what people expected because, again, I think we're missing the bigger picture. Michael Olise came to Palace on a release clause from Reading.
Yep.
He only came because of that release clause. Parish could not have got him to sign because he came with the idea of coming to Palace for 1, 2, maybe 3 seasons and then moving on. So the fact we're getting anything for him, I know you're making a point about getting more money. That was never going to be an issue because once you have the release clause for whatever amount it was, 35 million, 45 million, once they activate it, which they did, Palace can't talk to him anymore. Chelsea can just go right in. I mean, Chelsea doesn't talk to Palace anymore. They go right to the player and it's done, which is what happened. So whether there was in the nose, whatever, people have talked about that release clause from a long time. And if you guys know the story, you know who Jeff Stelling is? The guy from Soccer Saturday.
I've heard the name.
Right, so he's a Hartlepool fan. Remember we played Hartlepool in the FA Cup a couple of years ago.
Yep.
Yeah. He's quite renowned, isn't he?
Right. So he was in the boardroom, and someone told him about the release clause. That he told the entire world about it one day on Soccer Saturday, like last year. That's how it got out. So It's been out there for a long time. Yeah, that's exactly how they got out. Yeah, that's how the story got out. Yeah. So the point is,
how ironic.
That release clause was exactly once that release clause out there, we were done. So I'm not upset because, like I said, he was never going to stay here. If he wanted to stay, he could, obviously, because you can say you don't want to leave. He wants to leave. I don't blame him. He was at Chelsea before. They have a massive project going on.
Mhm.
For me, City was a better move anyway for him. He'll play more at City, but you want to go to Chelsea. He's in London. He probably wants to stay home. I get all that stuff, but you got Mudryk, you got Madueke, you got Sterling. Good luck getting that side. That's all I'm gonna say. Good luck getting that side. But as far as that's concerned, he moves on. What I'm more worried about is what do we do next? That's all I care about. I don't care about Olise anymore. What are we
That's
gonna
the
do next?
biggest thing. That's the
That's
biggest
what
Well,
I'm
thing.
Patrick, it's
because
funny you say that. It's funny you say that because that's the thing that scares me more.
of course,
It's
That's
the
the thing
fact that
that really at the
we
end
don't have the
of this
confidence.
whole equation, I'm looking at the end result and I'm like, we've lost two of our best wingers for 35 million in total, right? Now, obviously, the out of contract thing, granted,
right.
that I understand, but we're not a club renowned for going out and spending copious amounts of money anyway. It's not our style, it's not our system. And the reality situation is we haven't been bringing loads of numbers that we require to let the club push on.
And that's the
We
biggest
haven't
problem.
done that since the Vieira first summer.
Yep.
And now that you've got Roy at the helm, who incidentally is asking for and demanding players, may I add, which is very out of character. We're now, as fans, because I don't think I've seen one crit or bumped into one crit or even social media wise, seen one Crystal Palace fan turn and go, this is fine. We're all right. Everybody's upset. Everybody's freaking out. Everybody's panicking because before Olise left, we had a ton of problems in a squad to build. And it just seems that there's a big juggernaut building up. And there's no really, we don't have a strong team. We don't have a strong squad. Not strong enough to be pushing on to the next level. How have we become a weaker side over the past 18 months? It don't make sense.
Yeah, the thing that gets me about this is where it puts us prior to the end of this window and what we have to do in order to hopefully position ourselves to at least compete try to compete at a high level. I think and I fully agree with you, Patrick, when you brought this up in the chat earlier. It's very much an issue of ambition in a lot of ways. Ambition and having clear foresight for things. Because I mean, think about this. I mean, this is being completely honest. I mean, compared to some of the other players that we've had come through Crystal Palace that we know and love. I mean, we had Michael Olise for what, 3 years?
2 years.
2 years.
2 seasons. 2 seasons.
So I think at some point when you coming into right before last season, you understand this kid's talent. Maybe you then try to renegotiate this buy clause. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because
but
8 from
again,
35 million from an $8 million signing is great if you ask me. Like overall, I think what it ends up being at the end of the day is American Football Reference. Michael Olise outkicked his coverage,
right?
And he outperformed that release clause.
He did, T. But why would Michael Olise renegotiate except for money? He clearly came here as a stepping stone. We were always a stepping stone. Why would he do that just to get more money? He can get more. He's going to get an 8-year contract at Chelsea.
Something crazy.
I'm saying there was no reason for him. People, I know that's been a major talking point. Why didn't Paris renegotiate? The kid didn't have to. He didn't have to and didn't need to. There was no point. He came to Palace to do what he did. Establish himself as a Premier League player, make himself extremely wanted by other teams like Man City and Chelsea, and move on. And that's what he's doing. So you can begrudge all you want, you can be upset, but that's what he came in to do. So we got 2 years, and we might have gotten a third if we got lucky. Maybe we kept Wilf, kept Vieira, or kept bought more players, whatever. We were not going to keep him once this cycle began. Firing the manager, keeping Hudson on, not signing anybody, losing Wilf. There's no ambition in this club. And that's the thing that I'm going to keep banging on about over and over. I love Palace. Been a fan more than anybody on this show or most people. I've seen everything. I've seen everything. So I'm not going to get upset anymore because I see where we are. But it's just frustrating that we're actually at, by far, our best time ever. 10 years in Premier League. There's no doubt about it. I'm not going to argue about it. I can get mad at Paris. But the truth is, we're in the best position we've ever been. But we were in a position to push on the way, I'm going to say it, the way Brighton did. and we didn't. And the fact that now we're going to start losing our best players, I guarantee you, I'm going to say it, Eze is gone next. Eze is going to leave. The only way Eze doesn't leave is if Paris does what he does with Zaha and says you're not leaving, which he can do because thankfully there's no release clause. But that'll only get Eze upset. I don't think that's a good idea. But my point is, if Tottenham or whoever comes in for him, he's going to leave. Now, whether it's this season or next, Eze is going to be next one to leave. So we have to, as a club, think, what are we going to do? Is it bring the kids through? Is it bring Maxaki through? Bring Wells Morrison through? Bring a Boué through? Or is it gotten by? It's not going to be Hudson Odoi. He's going to Fulham apparently, or wherever he's going. I don't care where he's going. Is it bringing Damari Gray? Is it bringing? We have to bring in someone. My fear is it's going to be Andre. We're going to bring in Andre Townsend and be here next week. I can guarantee you guys, Townsend come back to Palace. He's a free agent.
It makes too much sense.
Olise. It makes too much sense. He replaced Olise. Now he's going to
Olise
replace him. He replaced Olise. That's what we do, though. That's what Palace does.
It's literally the Joel Ward situation on right wing.
Joel Ward syndrome, right? The Wan-Bissaka syndrome, exactly. We get a guy to replace the guy to replace the guy to come back. I mean,
oh man, you replace the guy with the guy that you're going to replace him with, but then you replace that guy with the guy that you replaced him with.
Yeah, whatever.
So then,
it's like one of those Star Trek episodes. You're looking in the mirror. You look in the mirror, and the mirror, and the mirror, and the mirror.
So Patrick, then what is the difference between what we're seeing with other clubs where they're getting these tremendous deals and transfer fees for their younger talent, but in our situation with the makings and the places that we've put ourselves in, we're not seeing that same thing.
No, I think again, Olise is an aberration because of the release clause. We'll get the most we can for Gehi. We'll get the most we can for Eze. We'll get a lot for Anderson. We'll get a lot for Decore. I don't think it's going to be a problem because, again, Paris is a good negotiator when he holds the cards. He held none of the cards in this case. It was all Olise had all the cards, and rightly so because he came here for a reason. But if we are forced to sell Eze or Gehi or Decore, there's no doubt Paris will hold out for the most. I'm not worried about that. But that's not even the point. Again, who cares? What do we do to replace those players? I don't have a problem selling them. I don't. But you can't sell Wan-Bissaka and not replace him. Well, we got Nathan Ferguson, right? That didn't work out. You can't now let Olise go and not replace him.
Yep.
You have to replace him, and then you replace him and Wilf. But I'll take one. At this point, I would have taken. I'll take one of the two getting replaced. Obviously we're not going to replace both. So.
Yeah, because we're in a situation now where we need a lot of attacking talent to be coming through the door prior to say the least. Prior to that first week of September, we need a lot of attacking talent in through the doors to hopefully help us out. I mean, when AJ was talking about the current squad, I was looking at it. We have 20 registered first team players right now. And of course, that doesn't include the young guys, of course, like Jez and Ebue and Whitworth, those young guys, but because they're under 21. But as far as registrable first team players, we're at 20 guys right now.
That's ridiculous. That's not sustainable. I mean, we're not going for Europe, but even a decent cup run and we're done, right? I mean, even a decent cup run, which is all of our wishes and desires, is to have a cup run. We can't even do that now because we don't have the squad to do it.
That's low end championship stuff.
Facts, T.
Well, put it this way: if you look at which I'm gonna have to say it like, but if you look at the relegation rivals, half of them are squad building better than us. Little Bournemouth sitting in the corner over there down by the seaside. Have you seen their squad building this season?
Man,
they are out here.
They dropping.
Did you watch Wolves yesterday?
Yeah, do you know what's funny? Wolves one of my favorites to go down, but the way they played yesterday, I'm sitting there thinking, I might have made a mistake here. I might have made a mistake here.
No, they're not going down. Luton maybe, Sheffield United maybe, but the third team, I don't know. Luton probably, Sheffield United don't look good, but the third team, I have no idea. Could be any of us, and I'm gonna put Palace in there. It could be any of us. Yeah. Seriously, people don't want to sleep on.
If you do not back this manager in the next 2.5 weeks,
right?
Might as well just sign it off. Might as well. because that new stand's going to look all pretty, but I don't want to be seeing it looking pretty playing Plymouth. It's long. It's long.
And then,
like we need to be
becomes a lot more legit now.
Attacking players, right? Do not come cheap.
They don't.
Because at the beginning of this window, we're sitting there balancing whether we're going to bring in Balogun. I'm sitting there now panicking, thinking, are we going to get Andros Townsend? Like, how did that spin in 2-3 weeks? That just goes to show where we're at right now.
Yeah.
I heard Alexis Sanchez is still available. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, what is going on?
Yeah, so tough subject, tough times, but as Patrick alluded to, it is what it is. Business is business, but at this point, it's about what we do next, and what comes next for the club as far as bringing in reinforcements. The deal is done. We know what's to come with the money we're going to get, but how are we going to use it? You know,
that's the key.
So
that's the key.
So moving on to our second topic of today. It was officially unveiled that Jake O'Brien has joined Lyon. We all knew it was coming, but
news gets better and better.
They just decided to just pile on to our misery a little bit today. But yeah,
wait up. No, is that Texas Lyon? I'm good.
Patrick, you made me sick.
That's Texas Lyon. I'm good, man. I'm good, man.
This guy's an agent, man. You are a sick man.
Well,
get rid of all that Palace stuff and swap it for Lyon stuff.
Before it's too late, jump on board, brother, because you're gonna need somewhere. Because you're about to float. You're about to sink, brothers. You better jump on board.
Hey, listen. I'm open for offers, man. I'm open for offers. Trust me. When you come London, we'll talk. When you come London, we'll talk.
Yeah, definitely. December, we talking for sure.
Luckily, at least with this move, he's still under the umbrella somewhere. I would be a lot more hurt. Yeah, I'd be a lot more hurt if he went elsewhere. Let me just say that to be quite honest with you. But the rumored reports say that he went for about €1 million. So not a huge fee, but he was in a contract year. We do know that. So quick shout out to him. Happy everything worked out for him, to be honest. But a little sad to see him, but it is. Really I mean, because it was either going to be another loan move, or being okay with sitting behind 4 other guys, which did make sense. So
he may not stay there though. He might go to Molenbeek, by the way.
He might go to Molenbeek, but the thing is, I think
he can
compete with. I think he honestly could compete there, but I guess it just depends on what they want and what they see. So, moving on, Crystal Palace are apparently monitoring the situation of River Plate's 21-year-old winger Pablo Solari, and sources spoke and said that the English club could make an opening bid around €15 million. Now, there were some conflicting reports that came out to say that there was little to no legitimacy to some of these reports, but we're just going to put it out there that there could be some talks with some possible reinforcements already, along with a Portuguese newspaper, Ebola, who highlighted Crystal Palace's interest in sporting winger Ishaku Fatawu. I think that's how you say that. Ebola writes that Crystal Palace are looking at Fatawu with interest, but the truth is that they're unlikely to reach the €15 million demand by Sporting.
Hold up, we got money now. We got 35 million, bro.
Very interesting because one guy's like, yo, we're interested in him. We want him. 15 million. We can do it. Other guy's like, oh, hey, we're interested. 15 million. Oh, they can't do it.
We got money, man.
Whatever, man. That's the same budget as AFC Wimbledon, man. Get out of here, man. Get out of here,
like. You ain't never lied, AJ. You ain't never lied, brother. You ain't never lied.
No, trust me, man. Trust me, man. Listen.
League One
AFC
budget,
Wimbledon.
Them League One budgets, mate, or them bottom half championship budgets, man. Like, I'm pretty sure even Luton spent more than that, right? You know what I mean? Come on, bruv. Help me out.
Yeah, man.
Give me something to work with, because this ain't it.
The thing
this ain't it, man. I'm hurt, man. I'm hurt. I'm stressed.
I'll be quite honest, man. If we can come out of this even in remotely decent shape with the people that we can bring in, it'll be very, very impressive.
So what are we saying? Realistically, how many players do you think we need, and how many do you think we're actually getting in?
We're getting 2. We need like 4.
We need like low key. We need like 4 to 5.
And 1 is gonna be Andros Townsend. Right now, one of them. People in the chat. I'm telling you right now, we are getting Townsend next week.
We will be there.
Our right wing, our right wing rotation will be Andros Townsend and
I'm just saying this statement live in front of everyone. Yeah, you see when we do the little stream and the Palace news when we sign Townsend, I'm not here. I'm here.
Yeah, I'm here.
I won't be there.
I am here for that. I'm letting you know that.
I'll be in the comment section cussing guys out, bro. Trust me, I'm not going to be here.
Patrick's going to be here. Patrick's going to come on. He's not going to do anything other than smile and be silent. Just
no, wait up. I'll show you what I'm going to do. 1 second. I'll be right back.
Oh, God.
Hey, this dude is comedy, man.
He's on fire, man. He's taking liberties,
man. He's going to be right there with the jersey.
Bro, I'm going to put this. I'm going to take it out the case, put it on.
Do you want me to get signed for you, mate? I can sort that out for you, bro.
With Glad all over playing in the background, huh?
I'll turn up, man. When the players turn up to the game, normally 12 o'clock? I'll show up outside Sellers, 12 o'clock, get Townsend to sign it for you, man. I'll get him to sign the new shirt for you.
Bro, when I come December and he's on the pitch, I'll be in the parking lot waiting for it to get signed. I got it myself, bro. I appreciate your help, though. I got it.
Jeez, my God. He will making the most of the match day, mate. Making the most of it. Fan zone, let's go.
100%. Fan zone, brother. Fan zone.
So let's go with your thinking, Patrick. So we get 2. 1 is Andros Townsend. What position is the other?
Another attacking winger. We won't get a striker. So a left-sided or a guy that can play much like Fonseca that can play, middle or on the left or right side. Someone who's versatile.
The way this window's going, man, we're gonna probably sign Shea Adams and put him on a wing or something, man. I'm telling you.
By the way, I know you guys play. I think that's not a bad shout. For Palace, he'll run his socks off, which Palace fans love, and he'll score 4 or 5 goals.
You love that, don't we? Maybe it's awful, man.
Expectations are low. Yeah.
The only thing that gets me about that signing, he's 27 right now.
Right.
If we throw out 10 mil on him, contract. We throw out the 10, 12 million or whatever on him.
Right.
We're not going to see that money back. Like he's not going to have no resale.
Yeah, that's fine, but you kind of resell every player. You know what I mean?
No. You definitely can, but it's like, do we try to invest somewhere else? Or someone else, should I say?
You're always killing Mateta. Everybody kills Mateta. Mateta has to go just for him and my mindset. He's got to go. So yeah, I'm thinking Che Adam. We're not gonna get any better than that. We're not getting better than him. We're not getting Balogun because we're not gonna spend that kind of money. So for Crystal Palace, we're talking about spending 10 to 15 max on a striker. Who are we getting for that? We're not getting anybody for that. I mean, look what's his name went to Ajax today, right? Akpom. Chuba Akpom went to Ajax for like 10.
Yeah, that was very surprising. I was very surprised by that. That's an upgrade, man. That's a head of promotion.
Like 12 plus 3.
I'm saying. Right. But he went to Ajax, the Champions League side. He's not going to come to Palace. You know what I mean?
He's 27. He's 27.
Exactly. Right. Basically the same age. Exactly. So I don't know. I just don't know of a striker. I'm not saying proven. I'm just saying playing in the Premier League that we can get for the money we're going to spend. We're not going to put out, another Edward type because hopefully Edward will fire this season. He's going to be backing him up anyways. You don't need a number one. You need someone that's can come on, playing some cup games, come on as a sub, that kind of stuff, compress. I don't think Che Adams is the worst, but again, I just think expectations, I've lowered them big time. I just don't think we're going to get anybody better than that. I just don't.
I agree, man. I agree. I mean, if that's the move, fine. I just hope that we do some things around that and outside that.
Yeah, more attacking, more glamorous. Exactly. Yeah,
I agree. Do that. So, but hey, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Appreciate everybody tuning in, man. We are at 160 people watching right now, man. Shout out to everybody.
People.
And hey, this is big news, man.
Well, we might as well make something out of him while he's still here. You know what I mean?
hit them likes, people. Hit them likes. Yeah.
Like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate everything that you all do with tuning in. and being a part of all the broadcasts and things. We'll definitely be back as more things unfold. Hopefully, we'll get back on here with some good news coming soon. That would be really nice for sure. But we will see that, and we'll see you all soon. And as always, up the Palace, man.